Millions of people will be traveling this year for Thanksgiving. The best time to hit the road or take a flight to avoid a holiday nightmare.
In Western North Carolina, we have a significant issue with food insecurity.
Hunger doesn't take the holidays off. The big impact a yearly food drive is having in the mountains.
A chickenpox outbreak in the mountains. This school that's affected the push for vaccines and what happens if parents choose not to do it.
Now, from Western North Carolina's news leader, this is News 13 at 5:30.
People are packing up their suitcases and heading out for the road. Millions of people are expected to travel for the Thanksgiving holiday.
This is a live picture of road conditions right now in our area. You can see a lot of cars on I-26 and I-240.
And taking a look now at the numbers. AAA is projecting more than 50 million people will travel this Thanksgiving holiday. That's the most since 13 years ago, back in 2005.
And if you're heading out on a road trip, expect heavy delays.
But there is something that could help your commute both on the ground and in the air.
Gio Benitez explains which day is the best to avoid the most traffic.
Experts are expecting this to be the busiest Thanksgiving travel period in some 13 years. That starts today. It's only going to get worse from here. Take a look at these numbers right now, because at airports, the TSA is expecting a record-breaking 25 million passengers to fly. And when you break that down by the day, they're expecting 137,000 more people to fly daily. So they're adding more than 1,000 officers to help out. Now, as for the roads, cars, they're the most popular way people travel. 48.5 million people are expected to hit the road. That's an increase of 5% from last year. 2.4 million more people are expected to drive. Now, the busiest day to leave for the holiday is Wednesday, but all that considered, the best day to travel, regardless of how you do it, planes, trains, automobile, is Thanksgiving Day itself. But listen, you've got that snow threat, you've got that rain threat this week in the Northeast, so it's going to be a mess all across this country. Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
Taking a look now at how much you can expect to spend for gasoline if you're driving for the holidays. Here's the national price. Right there it is, $2.62 a gallon. That compares with $2.70 here in Asheville. And if you look across the state, the price here is $2.52 a gallon in North Carolina. And you go south to South Carolina, their gas price averaging $2.32. Those prices are about 5 cents a gallon lower than last week, but almost 20 cents higher than last Thanksgiving. Remember, you can always find the lowest gas prices locally with our News 13 Pump Patrol at WLOS.com.
And now your on-time traffic report, sponsored by Lexus of Kingsport.
A disabled vehicle on I-240 eastbound continues to slow down traffic this evening. It's near the Charlotte Street exit.
And here's a live look at I-26 near the Brevard Road exit this evening, and you can see some heavy traffic there in both directions. No accidents reported at this hour.
We have a health alert to tell you about involving children. There are 36 confirmed cases of chickenpox at a private school in West Asheville. 68% of the children at Asheville Waldorf School are either not vaccinated or not immune to chickenpox. Buncombe County health officials say the biggest threat is not for the children at the school, but for adults with a weakened immune system.
We also get worried about babies, infants under 1 year of age, and then also pregnant women. If a pregnant woman who was not immune to chickenpox were to get ill with chickenpox early in pregnancy or around the time of delivery, it could be devastating for the pregnancy.
Waldorf students who have not been vaccinated or have not had chickenpox have been under quarantine since November 2nd and have not attended class.
The government's now helping another county following Hurricane Florence. FEMA public assistance is now available for folks that were affected in McDowell County. It'll also pay for debris removal, emergency protective measures, and repair work on damaged buildings. The county may also be eligible for some reimbursement. Other counties like Madison, Polk, and Yancey were also eligible for assistance.
There's still seats up for grabs in this year's midterms, but many of the country's most watched races wrapped up this weekend. In Georgia, Governor-elect Brian Kemp is already looking ahead after Democrat Stacey Abrams conceded. In Florida, 12 days of dual mandatory recounts have ended with 2 Republicans on top. But in California, the blue wave in the House continued, flipping a seat previously held by a Republican.
People feel like they haven't had real representation in a long time in the district.
A handful of House elections are still up in the air, and there's one Senate race in Mississippi that will be decided by a runoff. Happening now, Manna Food Bank and Ingalls are teaming up to help feed needy families this holiday season. This is a live picture of the Giving Tree at Asheville Mall. It's made up of non-perishable food items donated by Ingalls and decorated by Manna Food Bank volunteers. The Giving Tree campaign draws attention to hunger in the mountains every year. As News 13's John Lee explains, the donations of food and money feed a growing need.
At Manna Food Bank, an urgent mission puts volunteers to work. They distribute the equivalent of 40,000 meals a day, which equaled 18 million pounds of food last year.
Okay, that's all she wrote.
Each year, some 7,000 volunteers like Laura Collins roll up their sleeves in the face of a troubling hunger problem. On this day, they donated their time to help pack beans.
Well, it's great to be generous to our neighbors any time of the year, but I think a lot of us at Thanksgiving time especially think about the gifts that we have.
Which inspires them to help folks who see meals as a luxury they often can't afford. Randall says sobering statistics give folks even more motivation.
In Western North Carolina, we have a significant issue with food insecurity. 1 in 6 people and 1 in 4 kids doesn't reliably know where their next meal will come from.
Nonprofits from 16 counties rely on Manna. Hunger is like an 800-pound gorilla in the room. Whether the groups feed urban or rural areas, the financial hurdles are often similar.
From affordable housing to transportation to a lack of jobs that pay a living wage. And with all of those factors together, it can be challenging for people to get by.
It's amazing that so many agencies are able to give so much food because of those donations to people who really need it.
Each year, they welcome a seasonal boost in the battle against hunger.
The Giving Tree has generated over 1.7 million pounds of donated food and over $1.4 million for people in Western North Carolina.
Huge numbers that help make a dent in a national epidemic. In Asheville, John Lee, News 13.
Ingalls has partnered with Manna Food Bank for more than 30 years. Later, News 13's Jason Boyer tells us more about the Giving Tree in a live report.
Keeping kids safe in school. 2 mountain schools received grant money. How it'll be used to combat violence.
Holiday shopping is in full swing. You may be looking to upgrade your computer. The deals you can see on Black Friday and the best ones that fit your budget. We have an update on that shooting at a hospital in Chicago. This is a live picture from Chicago where all of this is unfolding. In the last few minutes, we've learned a possible offender has been shot. We've also learned an officer is in critical condition after he was shot. There are reports of multiple victims. We will continue to bring you updates on this breaking story as we get them.
Teachers at one mountain school are getting special training in an effort to keep students safe.
The Sandy Hook Promise is supporting 27 schools across North Carolina. One of those schools is Tuscola High School in Waynesville. The grant allows the organization to provide financial support, education, materials, and training in gun violence prevention.
We might be students and we might be called kids, but we don't feel like ones when we're here. We feel like we're trying to survive, and it doesn't have to be that way.
The program is named in honor of the victims who died in the Sandy Hook Elementary shooting. It happened in Newtown, Connecticut in December of 2012.
Another North Carolina school's also taking steps to secure one of its campuses. East Wake Academy in Wake County is becoming the first in the Triangle to install the RhinoWare door barricade system. It's a device developed by a Durham company in response to mass shootings at schools. It securely locks classroom doors to a plate in the floor. The cost is $250 per door. The school had them installed on all of its 120 classrooms.
Happening now, a Western North Carolina favorite, the Gingerbread House competition. This is a live picture inside Grove Park Inn.
And look at that, aren't they just incredible? And you can see the different gingerbread houses that are on display. The competition started today. The winners will be announced a little bit later this evening. It's a beautiful day today to get out and enjoy either some gingerbread or maybe help some families in need.
Chief Meteorologist Jason Boyer is live at the Giving Tree inside the Asheville Mall. Jason?
We are less than 30 minutes away from lighting the official Ingles Giving Tree again this year, 25 years and counting. Always a great celebration here at the Asheville Mall. We have choirs singing, putting us in the Christmas spirit as well. We'll be talking more with someone from Ingles about how much this means to all the families across the region and how this is going to happen again this year. Stick around, we'll be talking weather as well. Take a look at the November high temperature calendar. We managed a nice stretch lately of some above average highs, and today, no exception, 64 degrees officially. We still have only half of the number of total days with below average highs, which is 12. Stick around, we'll talk more about your holiday travel forecast and who's going to be cold and who might be a little milder for Thanksgiving.
A mountain school adds a very special student to its roster. Why it's now be welcoming a four-legged friend on campus. Tonight, we find out who will take home the coveted Mirror Ball Trophy.
The Dancing with the Stars finale is just hours away, and 4 couples are vying to be the 27th season champions.
Natalie Brunell is in Hollywood with a preview.
It's been a season of unforgettable performances and dramatic, surprising send-offs.
Juan Pablo and Cheryl.
13 celebrities now down to the final 4. Including Harry Potter star Ivana Lynch and her partner Keo, who clinched 3 10s for their contemporary routine.
You have become a warrior.
Radio host Bobby Bones and Sharna jived their way to the finale.
Whenever they did the odds for the show, I was picked to go home first. I literally was the worst person on the show. The fact that I've been able to last and I've never danced before.
Joined by Disney star Milo Manheim and Whitney, whose tango blew the judges away.
Milo always delivers.
And rounding out the final 4, social media star Alexis Wren and her partner Alan,
10.
who captured America's hearts, revealing their dance partnership has blossomed into a romantic partnership. It's a tight race, and each couple just 2 dances away from the chance to be crowned the Mirror Ball champion.
Tonight, the couples will perform a repeat dance plus the fan favorite freestyle routine. And viewers, you still have time to vote during the live broadcast at dwtslivevote.com. You don't want to miss this 2-hour Thanksgiving dance spectacular. Natalie Brunell, ABC News, Hollywood.
One school has its very own comfort dog. Harris Middle in Spruce Pine is the first school in North Carolina to become part of the Muttigrees program. The curriculum developed by Yale University and North Shore Animal League is designed to develop confident and caring kids. The school dog is a 6-month-old poodle mix named Ruby, adopted from the Mitchell County Animal Rescue. The school's principal saw some immediate results.
We had a student come in that was totally ramped up with anxiety and crying and just not ready to go back to class. And a few minutes with Ruby, and that child just completely changed.
Coming up tonight at 6, we hear from a couple of the students about how Ruby is helping them thrive.
Now, your News 13 Skywatch weather.
And hello there again, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jason Boyer coming to you from the Asheville Mall. It is an annual tradition here, the Ingles Giving Tree Lighting Celebration. We're less than 30 minutes away from lighting this tree up. It's going to be an awesome thing to see and witness here. We're lucky enough to be here. Joining me right now is Chief Financial Officer of Ingles, Ron Freeman. Ron, tell us a little bit about the tree and your partnership with Manna.
Sure. Well, we've been doing this for 26 years now, and the tree that we've got behind us here has 10 tons of food on it.
Wow.
And in the 26 years that we've been doing this with Manna, there have been over 1.6 million pounds of food, $1.3 million donated, and that's enough to provide 5.4 million meals for folks in need here in Western North Carolina.
That is so wonderful. Now, people can still give, and now throughout the year you've been collecting, but they can still come here in other locations?
They can come here. They can go to all of our stores. Hopefully they might have gotten a bag in the mail or with a newspaper. They can fill up with canned goods and take to one of our stores or bring it here to the mall, and we'll welcome any donation.
Yeah, food insecurity, unfortunately, is always a problem here in Western North Carolina. We're trying to combat with this. 1 in 6 are food insecure in Western North Carolina. That's a big number, so this is obviously going to go a long way.
Yes, it really will, and that's a number that still just staggers me. It shouldn't happen, so we're all trying to do everything we can to reduce and one day eliminate that number.
Absolutely. Well, Ron, we certainly appreciate your efforts, and Ingalls as well. Thank you for joining us this evening.
My pleasure.
And again, we're going to be lighting the tree up later on, and should be a beautiful one. We're listening to caroling right now from WD School as well as Pisgah Elementary. They're here, WD Williams School and the Asheville Choral Society. Check them out. All right, stick around. We're going to be talking weather right now. It is going to be a different story tomorrow. We have a cold front coming in. That cold front scheduled to move in later on this evening and overnight. It's going to drop our temperatures significantly tomorrow. The Futurecast will show that rain chance mostly west of I-26 this evening and overnight. I don't think much is going to fall at all in Asheville. The chances of rain are very low. Most areas, again, west could see that light accumulation. In terms of how much accumulation, take a look here. We're looking at mostly a 1/10 of an inch or less. That's the idea at this point. But some areas could get up to about a 1/4 inch if they're very close to the Tennessee border. Other than that, it's going to be a big change when it comes to those temperatures. In fact, a roller coaster ride expected here the next 7 days. Temperatures up and down. How do you dress for the weather? You certainly need the coats tomorrow. But it's back to, well, really jacket weather. Just a jacket, I think, by the holiday, as Thanksgiving is looking milder. Temperatures mostly mid-40s, 50s I should say. Then we're back down into the 40s for Friday, back to the coats as well. How about your holiday travel plans? If you're driving anywhere in the southeast, mid-Atlantic, even the northeast, it's looking pretty good. I-26, I-40, I-75, 85, and 95, giving them all green lights in terms of the weather. Not a problem. Low temperatures tonight, dropping down into the 30s mostly around the region. There might be some 40s mixed in, of course, in Asheville and areas south, a little warmer. And highs tomorrow should max out into the 40s only, most mountain valleys, some 50s south, and even a little bit of 60-degree weather down there for the upstate as you enjoy a little milder weather. 7-day forecast is going to bring in the rain chances, significantly higher rain chances coming in Friday night into Saturday. More widespread rain anticipated to start your weekend, but it does look drier into Sunday. And you noticed those up and down high temperatures, so get ready to have those layers handy any given day. We'll be lighting the tree up here at the Asheville Mall with the Ingalls Giving Tree Celebration in a little while at 6. See you then.
Time right now to check out today's Chime In picture.
And Cable sent us this picture of the clouds rolling through the mountains.
Isn't that pretty? Look at that. She didn't say where this was taken, but you can see that the fall colors are still hanging on out there.
It's very slow to load, you're waiting. Remember the spinning disc? It's like if you don't want it, why deal with that? It's 2018.
Ready to upgrade your laptop? Next, the features to look for and the ones you don't need when you head out to the store to shop.
Weather.
Black Friday's just days away, and if a new computer's on your shopping list, well, you're in luck.
News 13's Jennifer Emmert has more on the good news. Jen?
Consumer Reports says there will likely be great deals again this year, but you'll need their expert advice to find a laptop to suit your needs and budget.
If you're in the market for a new computer, chances are you'll be getting a laptop. That's because laptops have replaced desktops as the go-to computer for most consumers. They're portable, more powerful, faster, and less expensive than they used to be. Want the top speeds? Consider a solid-state drive or SSD. They're noticeably faster than traditional hard drives, but they can also be more expensive.
If you're buying a laptop and you're going to hold on to a laptop for like 5 years, let's say, over the cost of those 5 years, $100 to get a dramatically better computing experience, I would say you should spend that extra $100.
As for storage, Consumer Reports says 256 gigabytes should be enough for most people.
That's enough space for, your operating system, all the updates, all your programs, whether that's Photoshop or Excel or Outlook or Chrome or any of those type of things.
Storage and memory, or RAM, can be easily confused. Storage is where you keep your files long-term, such as documents and photos. Memory houses the apps or programs that you're currently running, such as your web browser or email. Testers at Consumer Reports say the sweet spot for memory is 8 gigabytes. Processors, also known as chips, are the brains of a laptop. Consumer Reports says the best choice for most people is the Core i5, which can handle what most users need it to do and more.
Consumer Reports also says when it comes to display, there's no reason to spring for 4K. That's because the difference in sharpness is so subtle on a laptop's small screen. Go to WLOS.com and click on Consumer Reports under the News tab for more information.
Next on News 13 at 6, bears with a sweet tooth. The damage they did when they found a case of chocolates in a woman's car.